All right. Hopefully the audio is coming out good in this one. Good morning, everybody. It's been a little bit. I've been trying to get videos out, having a lot of technical problems trying to figure out with this, but fortunately, I'm better with the AI and the blockchain than I am with all this audio video stuff. What we're going to talk about today is AI. We went over basically the channel, the outline or the framework for the channel. And what I want to focus on is AI and some basics, all right? Everyone hears AI and they think about chatbots because that's the bubble or the boom right now. But AI is actually used in so many things that we already use, from our phones to the smart TVs to your car, So those are the AIs that we know of. Back in around 2020, around the COVID time, we started hearing about the GPTs and the chatbots. Now, once that came out, that was like a catch-all, almost like back in the day, with skills saw and circular saws or sneakers, they call them tennis shoes and things like that. But AI is actually very different when used different ways. The chatbots changed a lot because instead of having to be a coder or a program in order for it to do a process or to make use of its benefits, we can now speak to it or have it help us just using natural language, all right? Now, when doing that, there's also a little process or a way you have to speak, right? When you're speaking in different groups of people, depending on what the group is, you start speaking like them so they understand. You have lingo, you have slang. Now, chatbots are actually like sophisticated spell checks or word processes where they're trying to guess your next word. But because they're able to do it in the way and the speed that they are, it almost feels like there's a little person in there, right? So when the TVs first came out, people were scared of technology. They thought there was people inside this little box talking to them. Same thing with these AIs. And to be completely honest with you, sometimes it does feel like they're alive, all right? But how it works technically is it organizes data in such a way that it finds your words in a flash and combines them together, and in layered process, it's able to go through everything and give you returns. And its database is basically, the history pretty much of the internet, along with other separate databases. And then you can even add additional databases yourself, not getting all technical and everything, but something as simple as what they call context profiles is like a snapshot. So even if it's just based on your conversation or chat you're having with it, you can give it another snapshot where it knows the tone, it understands your business, it knows more about you. All these little things, when it's getting back the results, aids the AI in giving you a very good result, result, I should say. But it really comes down to you. It's how you speak to it, how you command it, and what you give it. If you give it something that doesn't have a lot of meat, if there's not a lot of context, you're not going to get a good result. That's why you have a lot of people who might just answer the question like they do search engines. And even now, 20 years later with search engines, there's people who don't properly know how to do searches or use the internet. They're on social media and they'll just ask the search engine a question, they get pages and pages of results, and then you got to dig through it. With the AI, they organize everything. So even though they have all this history and all this stuff on the internet, it's almost like having, your tools in a shop or a work truck. You can have all the tools, and they can be all the proper tools, but if they're just sitting in a pile there right in the middle, it's going to be a long time before you get the right tool going through and finding everything. With AIs, what they do is they organize everything. So they put shelves up, they put all that information and data organized in the shelves so they can easily find it and get you, boom, what they need. And then they grow, okay? So they're processing this data and they're expanding. So you're able to get information from different industries and markets that you might not have considered as far as ideas. So you want to think of the AI as an extension of your thinking, of your idea planning or things to do. And you can even go further, as you dig deep into it, with having it do workflows or building agents where you actually train multiple AIs to do different tasks, almost like having a crew, right? So going back to speaking with it, because prompting and prompt engineering is the most important thing. And just starting out with the basic, understanding that context is king with this. The more it knows and understands, you know, the industry you're talking about, what you want from it, all the context, background, and information about it, and then instructions on how to give it to you, your results going to be like night and day. Very, very different when you give it to it. Okay, if you want like a basic idea, you know, if you're on, say, the construction jobs, right? You're around a lot of rough characters and stuff. You get in an argument, and you get in an argument with one guy, and he's just like, you know what, you can go stick it, right? And you're like, ah. But then you're on a job with these colorful people, you know, from the city, and they got a little more idea. You get in an argument with them, and the guy's like, hey, I'm going to take that left boot, turn it sideways, bend you over, shove it so far up there that when I pull your jaw down, I can take the laces and put a pretty little bow around that tongue of yours. And then I'm going to have you sing me a song. What's the matter? You're tongue-tied. Now, those are two different threats, right? The first threat was very basic. The guy was just telling you to stick it. You know, you think you might get it rolling around with the guy or get into issues that you really don't want it for the day. Now, the second guy, he might be screwing around with you. Might be nothing, but this clown, he's telling you what he's going to do and dance with you for about an hour, right? And he's telling you how he's going to do it. He's going to rip that boot off. He's going to turn it sideways, obviously, so it doesn't feel as good. He's going to put it so far up that he can get it on the other end, right? And then he's going to go through this whole process. The AI is the same thing. If you give it a basic command, it has to grab something and give it to you. So it's just going to return what you give it. Garbage in, garbage out, all right? And in a real life situation, say you're a landscaping company, right? If you just say, I'm a landscaping company and we're running into money problems, we want to do more with marketing, and I need a 30-day plan, that AI will give you results, all right? But it's just going based on, all right, you said you were a landscaping company, all right? So you basically initialized what you were, you identified, I should say. Then you went and you told Mark, but if you say, hey, I'm a landscaping company that also does snow plowing in the winter. We're located in Northeast Ohio. We have a crew of 30 guys. We have a fleet of so many trucks. We make this much per month on maintenance. We make this much per month on snow plowing during the winter months. I have a budget of $20,000. I want to run some marketing ideas for the next 30 days leading into the winter months. What can I do? Now, those two prompts are completely different, all right? And you'll get answers for both, but the results for the second one compared to the first one is going to be night and day. So context is everything. It's like writing a small story. So if you're speaking to it, if you just want something quick, you know, be distinct. Just make sure you have it focused, ideas around what it's focused on, and then what to give to you. Or what you do is almost like you're writing a proposal, or if you're doing a proof of concept, you're writing all the ideas around it. If you put a guy on the job and he's, you know, a green guy, he's new, and he doesn't know what to do, and you don't clearly tell him what to do, when you come back, you know, hopefully the guy, you know, these days, who knows, but hopefully the guy's going to try to do something, right? It's probably not going to be what you want, but if you tell him exactly, boom, 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 when you come back, hopefully you'll have a lot more. You'll also be able to tell better what the guy, if he's going to work out or how it's going to be. Same thing with writing a proposal or a quote. You're making sure that every detail is itemized on there so you and the client have an understanding from the get-go that this is going to be done, this won't be done. The AI needs the same thing. If you could do that, you spend the time doing the homework on the front end, you're going to find that the AI is going to be a lot more valuable to you, because now it'll be, one, an extension of your brain. Two, it's going to be able to know you and understand you better, where it's going to give you additional ideas, all right? It'll be able to help you in areas that beforehand you would have to hire people. We're seeing information come back, okay, and with studies with these corporation and enterprises, because AI right now is a kind of a bubble, like everything when it first comes out with any tech. They're not seeing return on investments, but they really believe it's like this genie where they're just going to be able to lay off some people and then just have this AI do everything, when really it's just an extension to improve that person that amplifies you. I know I said it 100 times in the other videos, but it really does. All right. The better you can prompt engineer, the better you're going to be able to get results that really make a difference. Okay. And that goes with everything. Once you get an idea of how the AI understands the natural language it's being spoken to, okay, it gives you a format where you can speak to any AI, whether it's, GPT, it's Gemini, Claude, Grok, if you want to go with agents or go to Manus, when you start understanding what it wants to hear and what it needs to give you results, you can speak to any of them. And then when you go further to agents where they're actually doing things for you, it's better because you pay for each word or token. Okay, tokens make up words, and that's how they charge. That's how it's figured in. That cost will become less and less monthly for you because you'll be able to prompt the AI correctly to get results that are unbelievable with just saying a little bit, right? You raise your kids, all you got to do is throw them a look, right? You don't even have to say nothing after a while. The first couple times you do, but after a while you just look at them. With the AI, once you get it down and it starts getting used to, and you can go further, you can build projects where it learns everything around that. All right. There's mega prompting. There's multiple ways of doing it, but the basics and the basic things you want to understand is context is very important on how you write it. All right. We're going to come out with that breakage hunter soon. I'm almost wrapped up. Every time I'm ready to roll it out, I'm finding some ways to improve it, but I just got to get out there, and then it'll just be a working process, and we'll get it out. And what you'll be able to do with this is you won't have to worry about prompting it, all right? But what you want to do ahead of time is just sit down and maybe jot down ideas about your company and different things like that. It'll go through a questionnaire, and you don't have to provide anything private, if that's a concern of yours. We're not collecting information. What it's basically trying to do is get an idea of your company and audit it in a way to show you how AI and blockchain can benefit you from things now, repetitious things that you do now that you can replace using AI and blockchain. And that's not talking about all this new stuff that's coming out, because that's stuff that can be applied to you, and it's not really you having to learn all these different things. They're different systems that can be put in place where the results is just time and money being saved. Now, if you want to go further as far as prompting or engineering, there's a link that I will put in the description for Machina on X. Actually, they're located on a number of different social medias, from Notion to WAP, which is growing now, seems leap and bound. It's really popping up. Telegram. So whatever social media you are, X, Telegram, WAP, you'll be able to check out Machina. They have an excellent course on prompt engineering. It's a 7-day course and could take you longer depending on how deep you go into it. It's been taking me a little bit, but definitely I can't speak highly enough on how good this course is and how it works. But thanks a lot. I know I went kind of long this time, but thanks so much. Hopefully you got some ideas and some value out of this. Drop me a like, a comment, good or bad, whatever you want to say. It helps the algorithms. And we'll catch you on the next one. We'll go a little further into AI before we jump into those other industries to just give you basics. Thanks. Peace.